Well, hello, my loves. As you can see, today is going to be a lot different from what we usually do, but just for the record, just to stay on brand, let me just say hey, and welcome to this video. My name is Nina, and today is about the new project, or shall I say, the new island of Milk. Now, this whole story behind this island was a process for me. I was initially gonna make it a dark, like the Netflix show Dark inspired island, because I have been wanting to create a mystery island for the longest time, and I thought it would not be a better possibility for me to do this while I'm away and not be able to stream, because that way I can kind of still keep the mystery for you and of course bring you along throughout the builds, but I can still plan out what I'm showing when, so that I won't put any spoilers out for you and you can actually experience the whole mystery behind it as you would if you would have never seen the builds before. So that is why I'm kind of deciding to do this now. I will probably put a little bit of a montage behind all of my talking while I'm talking about this, because I restarted quite a few times, and the reasoning why this is called Milk is actually because I was kind of trying to go with the food theme that we have going on for our names, and I was trying to pick out the first food that was visible in the show Dark, and that was milk, because there was really a food like very early on in the game in the show. I could have called it Rider, but nah, that didn't sit right with me, so we went with Milk, which I think is very cute. Now, again, this is not going to be about the show Dark. This is actually now going to be enchanted mystery kind of medieval village that I'm feeling very inspired by, because again, I'm filming this in the past, so the DLC just dropped and everyone is building castles, so I am doing that now. This is not going to be very costly, it's just going to be a cute little village but full of mystery and like witchcraft. I just want to make it like a very magical place with like a mystery twist, and by the end that this island will be finished, you will have to kind of fulfill a quest to solve all of the problems behind it, or like reach a goal or something. I'm not really sure what that's going to be, but that's like the main idea and like the rough sketch kind of that I have in my mind right now, if that makes sense. But I'm really excited for it, and yeah, without further ado, maybe we can just hop right on into the build, because I haven't done anything on it just now, and we can just build along and get a little bit of a grasp of what this island will feel like. Hello again, it's present Nina here. This is not pre-recorded, kind of pre-recorded. Every video is pre-recorded, but you know what I mean. So we're here on Milk. I did actually restart quite a few times, but this is the map that I went with, and I'm really happy with the starters that we got as well, because our starters were Lyman and Deirdre. So for the starters we have Lyman, Deirdre and Bo, Nan, Poppy, Tasha, Olaf and Victoria, and I stan Victoria, so you're not going to comment on that. And as you can see, we are keeping the shop and the tent, so the museum in the tent and the smaller version of the shop. But without further babbling on, I'm already starting to lay out this in-game pathing, and that magically appeared. I would love for it to be that quickly in-game, but we can't have everything that we wish for, we just can't. So anyway, sorry, I will try to narrate this while also explaining a couple of things, because this build will be shifting. It will be taking quite a few turns, because when I started this, I didn't really have a clear image in mind, and I also did a bunch of stuff off of camera, because I built this over a couple of days, and it just took me a little while to come up with what I wanted the entrance to look like, and I still might make some changes to this and edit it as I go. But the general idea for this entrance is to have a little bit of a village, so like a medieval village, which is also why we have all this brown tone. We have the light in-game dirt path. I always call it the light dirt, even though it's just the dirt path. And I'm also framing all the buildings that we will be implementing, because we will be placing my house and the shop later, and I will be kind of surrounding or grounding them kind of with this brick path, which I really love. And I will fidget with this a lot. I will also do a bit off of camera, but there is a build coming, another build, where I show a little bit better how I lay this pathing out. But I feel like the diagonal path is such a big trend now that most of you probably already know how to lay this stuff out, but I will also just explain it a little bit in the next build, where we will be building a diagonal neighborhood behind this. But for this build, we will be focusing on the entrance area, and we also won't be decorating what will be on top of the cliff that I just built. That's just so that we can kind of get a grasp of what this area will be shaped like, kind of. So we have this incline to the right, which I really love. I love having an incline or bridge at the entrance to just, I don't know, it just feels like you're coming straight into, you know, the town, the city where it's busy and where people are like walking around and doing their stuff, you know, running errands or whatnot. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And I will also be laying out a bunch of these little path thingies in the beginning, but then I will fill everything in off of camera, so don't you worry, it's not going to get too boring. But here I started to kind of plan out where my house is going to go, and I already customized it. I'm also planning to finish the DLC on this island so that we can give the villager houses a little bit of a makeover and make them fit a medieval kind of village, because I thought that would be very nice to kind of fit this aesthetic that we have going on with the house, because I feel like the brick that is in front of the door with this customization of the house goes really well with the brick path that we have. So I really love that, and I want to translate that to the villager houses as well. And what I'm planning out right now is where the shop is gonna go. Now, the only problem is that you can't move stuff too close to the shop when it's small. So the little frame that's kind of around it that's fenced off, you can't put anything in there. You can't plant weeds or flowers. You can't have any custom designs or in-game pathing there. Which is why just while I was editing this, I came up with the idea of maybe just tying it into a little wheat field, because I was gonna put a wheat field to the left side anyways, and I feel like that would be a very good thing to kind of cover it up with, but it will still keep the shop accessible. So I will maybe try that out, and we might see that by the end of the tour when we see the little montage. This is also quite the short video because I did so much stuff off of camera. Really sorry about that, but this entrance is going to go under a lot of construction after this build is done, and we will probably just shift a few things around over time. So I didn't really want to show you stuff that's not going to stay anyways. And a lot of disclaimers here. This building to the left here will also it will also shift slightly, because I will be layering the storefronts in front of it later and exchanging the path and the simple panels that I used here. But again, I started this island a couple months back, so I didn't really have many of the 2.0 update items yet. So I kind of tried to make do and build with what I was used to, which was simple panels. And yeah, but I'm now starting to kind of detail everything up. So we're going to use a lot of wood tones, a lot of barrel core again. And I also wanted this little brick centerpiece in the middle as you come in. So we will also be grouping a couple of items around that later, which I love. And I also try to tie in a couple of trees in this entrance build, just to make it feel a bit more natural and just a bit fuller, because I feel like the trees help to kind of cover the awkward edges of the simple panels or later the storefronts. They just kind of hide everything that you don't want to be seen. You know, if you don't want to see anything looks awkward, just flop a tree and just flop a tree in front of it. Oh my god, help me. And you shall be good. You shall be good. So now We're also moving a couple of things around because, as I was mentioning in my design tips video, it's always good to balance color. Jesus Christ, I can't English today. And since I was including the little white duck to the left side of the entrance, I also wanted to have one, a little pop of white to the right, which is why I exchanged the classic picture a second ago. And now I'm starting to detail this little group that I mentioned earlier around this brick well. So I will just flop down this little circular path to just make the brick well sit a little bit better into the ground, and then I will also just break the larger portions of the in-game pathing up with a bit of this dirt pathing that I believe is by Colin Crossing. Again, I want to mention that this island's codes I will probably not be updating on the website for a little while, just because I will be in hospital tomorrow because it's currently Wednesday, January 12th, as I am recording this voiceover. So I don't think that I will be able to update the codes, but quite a few of them I have already used on previous islands, but I will get that done once I'm back from the hospital, so you will just have to wait a couple of weeks, but they will be there eventually. So excuse the delay, but I will credit everything that I can find. And yeah, now I'm just going in and working on this little kind of tree that we will be blocking off with castle walls in the end at a silo, because I wanted to kind of hide the resident services building as you were coming, like as you were entering the island. I didn't really want resident services to be seen because I wanted this kind of plaza in front of the plaza to be very enclosed, which is why we have the cliff to the right and the castle walls towards the back of the build. And I'm just kind of treating this like a little alleyway maybe. So we have a little store all the way in the back, kind of pushed against the castle wall. And I just detailed it up with a bunch of farming items, which is a very big theme on this island, and I love it so much.
Have you ever had a dream?
And we will also be later having a building to the right side here, but I built that off of camera because it was basically the same thing that we did to the left side. Plus, I also adjusted it and added some storefronts instead of the stalls and whatnot. But we're already nearing the end, so very soon, in a couple of seconds, we will flop over into a little bit of a let's play section. I will just walk you through the whole thing, and then we will have the montage of the finished product. So if you enjoyed this video, I would very, very much appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'd love to have you join our family. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. Until next time, and bye-bye. Also, I said let's play section when I actually meant just a montage, so just ignore me as per usual. Mama's back. I lied. I just opened up the game to check and film the little montage footage, but I realized how many changes I made, and I thought we would just do a little walkthrough, you know, mix it up a bit instead of the usual montage. But to the left we have this little building where I just layered the storefronts with the gazebo that I can never remember the correct name of, and then we have a storefront here instead of the retro train station, and then we have this little kind of duck. I think they are geese, actually. I think this is my little geese house. Then we have another house, and we have the shop right here, and I kind of layered some wheat fields to the side, and then I think we will just transition that over into like a big field over here. But yeah, and I can just show you what I did here. I just added some of these covered wagons and swapped a few things out, but I really like how it turned out in the end. So with that, this time actually take care of yourself, and bye-bye.